My boss' secret is my undoing. Chapter 1. You're fired, a tall, striking woman announced. She wore a black pencil skirt, and her demeanor was cool and distant. Frederick Lester swallowed harshly as he looked at the woman's beautiful figure and tried not to let his eyes wander. The woman was Jennifer York, the recently appointed vice president of the corporation. At 27, she was a highly educated returnee with a Ph.D. and dual degrees. She was also rumored to earn an incredibly high annual salary of as high as $1 billion. Today was her first day, and it had been full of tough interviews and layoffs. Someone from HR came up and tapped him on the shoulder. "Frederick, it's your turn." Frederick nervously entered her office. "Ms. York, you wanted to see me?" But as he entered, he saw Jennifer on the floor. She was obviously in distress, and her breathing was heavy. Frederick's concern spiked, and his heart raced. He had to do something. Despite her situation, her beauty was undeniable. He couldn't help but admire her stunning appearance, and turning his eyes away was difficult. "Get out!" Jennifer exclaimed when she saw Frederick. Frederick was startled at her shout. He was about to leave when she cried out, "Wait! Come here! Help me!" Frederick couldn't help but listen to her and quickly returned to her side, assessing her condition with surprising expertise. That was because he wasn't an ordinary man. Jennifer was in a bad state. Her body was overheating, and her breathing was heavy and unstable. She was also unconsciously tearing at the blouse she wore. Frederick's expression grew serious. "Ms. York, you've been poisoned with a strong aphrodisiac. If we don't act fast, you'll combust and die in less than 3 minutes. The only way to counteract it is through physical contact." Jennifer was pale and in pain, but she nodded faintly. Frederick looked determined. "I apologize for what I'm about to do." In a swift move, Frederick tore off all her clothes and pressed himself against her. "Wait." Jennifer was shocked. This wasn't what she had expected. As she started to protest, her strength faded, and she fell unconscious. 10 minutes later, Frederick stood and said, "Ms. York, I apologize for any discomfort. Please take care and rest well. I'll be taking my leave now." Frederick quickly dressed and left with a pang of guilt. Jennifer gathered herself from the sofa and picked up her torn clothing, her eyes seething with anger at Frederick's departure. "Oh my God! I'm so dead. My impulse to help might cost me my job. That petty woman is undoubtedly upset, and she might fire me." Frederick sighed deeply as he left the office. On his way, he noticed the department manager, Ivan Graham, acting suspiciously. Since it was almost time for the workday to end, Frederick was concerned about running into Jennifer. So, he quickened his pace and left the building. He was going to attend his 33rd blind date today. 3 months ago, Frederick's name was still well known in the northern frontier. He was a prominent figure who led a vast army and held the title Hades, the Dark Monarch. He single-handedly defeated the coalition forces of various nations and saved the fate of the kingdom Draconia. However, due to his outstanding achievements overshadowing the ruler, he suffered from the suspicion of the powerful. In a fit of anger, he announced his early retirement and returned to his hometown, Mirage City. Since his records were classified as military secrets, he had to keep them a secret from his family. In their eyes, he was just an ordinary man with only a high school education and a 7-year military stint. He didn't dwell on his past and never discussed his time in Bellyria, where he was stationed when he served in the military. When he arrived at the restaurant for his blind date, his mother, Sylvia Harper, greeted him anxiously. "Fred, you're late. Miss Campbell has been waiting," Sylvia said as she ushered him inside. Marissa Campbell sat at a table. She was elegantly dressed and looking unimpressed with Frederick's simple attire. Frederick introduced himself calmly. "Hello, Miss Campbell. My name is Frederick Lester. I'm 25 years old, a veteran, and a high school graduate. I don't own a car or a house. Currently, I'm an intern at Prosper Corporation, making $3,500 a month." As soon as he finished, a cup of cold water was splashed on his face. "What a waste of my time. Marissa exclaimed.